Hi everybody, welcome back to Amber Marie and AZ. If you are a new viewer, I appreciate you signing on for what is going to be a somewhat crazy video. Sorry about this. As anyone who's watched me before knows, I did my last video on October 28th. We have had a lot happen during that period of time between then and today, which is December 18th or 19th, 2018. Not really sure which, to be honest. As you can see, I'm not in my bedroom anymore because we're not in that house anymore. Beginning of November, Chrissy, my tiny little American Eskimo, she got very, very sick, and her tummy swelled, and I immediately took her to a vet to find out that she had a very, very life-threatening uterine infection. It took me calling all over the valley and driving 35 miles away to get a vet that could fit her in to do emergency surgery, which is basically a hysterectomy on a little 14.5-pound puppy. Her uterus was so swelled and filled with infection, and it happened very quickly. There were no signs until there was a big sign. That she weighed 16.2 pounds. She used to weigh 17.2 pounds, but apparently had lost some weight, and now after her surgery weighs 14.4 pounds. Immediately 2 weeks following surgery. So we got her in, and when they went to do her pre-op exam, they found 3 little lumps and had to do a double mastectomy and a 3rd lump removal. Chrissy had breast cancer, and she had pyometra. Thankfully, with prayer from hundreds of people around the world, other American Eskimo parents, and a lot of my stitchy friends, thank you very much for all of it. She is okay. She's doing very, very well. She is playing again. She is almost fully healed internally, and her stitches have now been out for about 2.5 weeks. Then, we found out that the landlord of the home that we lived in would not fix the leaking roof and leaking window that had developed black mold, and my husband and I were getting quite sick, so we could not stay in our house. We had been there for 4.5 years, but it was unsafe. So we are, at least for the short term, at his childhood home. I don't know how long that's going to be for, but for now, I have a fireplace. Which is pretty awesome, because there aren't a whole lot of trees in the Phoenix area. Luckily, this yard is filled with them, and a lot of cuttings from them, which makes for firewood. So, that is why I've been absentee, and I'm very sorry. But with her recovery, I really didn't have time to stitch, much less make a video, and then the move, and it took a week to get everything moved over, and it just has been a very difficult couple of months. But luckily we are safe, and my puppies are all safe and healthy, and our kids are great. They all live on their own and have their own lives, and everything there is fine. As a matter of fact, hold on just a moment. Okay, here's Chrissy, and as you can see, she is okay. Yes. Although, you see your belly, baby. She has a temporarily naked belly. Yes, I killed her. But she's doing okay. And it looks like she's going to give you a close-up. And play with my stuffed snowman. She'll probably disembowel it. During the 2nd week of Chrissy's recovery, she was finally stable enough for me to do a little stitching, but I couldn't focus on confetti at all. So all of my full coverage pieces sat waiting. So I went on the Artisy Facebook group, and every month she puts out a freebie. And this month it was bookmarks. My husband's not a reader, but he loves Christmas. I'm a Halloween person. My husband's a Christmas person. It works for people. And so I let Tarina Clark, who is the owner, I believe, of Artisy, that this was my stay sane stitching during Chrissy's second week of post-op. And my husband has not seen this, and he's grounded from watching this video because of this. He is going to be announcing for the wrestling tournament at Moon Valley High School, where he used to be a teacher, Friday and Saturday, which is when I will FFO this. So I stitched this for him, and it is full coverage. Even these little stars, I did change the colors on it. Not the black background, obviously. She called for B5200 for these, and I did S5200. And I changed the colors of the light bulbs to match the bulbs in Kevin's Christmas light strands. Kevin being my husband. I used the same yellow that she had here for the light strand, which I did green because that's what color light strands are. And I kept the purple and the orange, although I used a different shade because I didn't have the one she called for. So I did that, and that will get FFO'd into some kind of decoration for my husband for Christmas. Excuse me. Then I wanted something to stitch on my late mother-in-law's linen because I wanted to try the linen out. And I felt kind of Christmassy. And these are the only two Christmas things I did, folks. So I did Quaker Snowflake on this imported Irish linen. I gotta get around you, Shuggy. And I did it in a variegated DMC blue, which I listed the color on the Friday Off the Grid group. I think it's like 51. I'm not sure. But if you're a member of the group, you'll see it. If not, message me and I'll look for it. This just isn't the very moment. So that was my first experience on linen, and I found that I would go blind if all I stitched were linen. I would go completely blind. Because that's approximately a 36 count linen. And I did it over 2 and still could barely see it. So there's that. Then a couple of things you knew I had gotten, none of which had I started on the last video. I just realized that. Except for Spirit Wolf, which let me show you that progress first. Haid Spirit Wolf was my first Haid, and I got it for my birthday this year from my eldest child and her husband. And I did make a little progress on that before my friend Donna Marie Dale in Northamptonshire, England, had us start a salve on another Haid that she sent me, which you saw. It's the Red Riding Hood piece, Enchantment of the Wolf. But this is the progress I made on Spirit Wolf. I had a page 1 finish and a full row of the top and a little bit over here. And my eyes went, no, I need a break from 1/1 on 28 count. Phew, I'll get back to that after the first of the year. Because I'm trying to get a page finish on the salve with Donna Marie Dale, which is this piece. Sorry for the glare, folks. And of course, we're up in this corner right here. She's already finished page 1, and with everything that's gone on, I am way behind from her. But it's the piece I was working on today. What's a little bit of stitching I've managed to do since we got to this house. But you can see I'm getting some good progress. And that is 1/1 on 22 count. And lots of confetti. It looks like just all solid gray here. No, it's like 4 colors. And the greens that are all throughout it. So, there's that. So I've had 2 starts and finishes. A little progress on a prior one. And a start and I'd say about 1/3 of a page, if that, maybe a little over 1/4. And then my friend Bridget Friedman and I, she had started Alice in Wonderland by Bothy Threads. And I'm sorry I don't have a picture to show you. It's on my phone. So, sorry. PDF. And I had this beautiful purple variegated iridescent fabric in my stash. And had gotten this satin thread that is by Artiste, which I believe is Hobby Lobby's brand. And it's a variegated called Peacock Show. So I have had just a little over a page finish on that before we moved. So that's, I started with page 2 because that's where center began on the pattern, of course. But I think it's kind of cool and very Wonderlandish with the way the colors variegate through it. It's kind of tight. So there's been that one, which she's now trying to catch up to me for a single page finish, which is funny because I thought I was catching up to her. Sorry, Bridget. But she has a lot of other stuff that she's stitching at the same time. A lot. And then there is the piece that I told all of you so much about, that Bridget had sent me as a gift, which was my unicorn piece, my dream, that I had waited 10 years and wished and hoped and prayed and thought I would never ever get, which is called Spring Break, and it's by Custom Crafts Inc. We call it Snowy. And for anybody who sees my Facebook page at all, you'll understand why we call it Snowy when you look at a picture of my baby Snowy that passed away 3 years ago, come February. It looks just like him. Eerily like him. When you saw me last, I had just received this. That was the day I received it. And I had not done anything on it. I did a lot on it before Chrissy's surgery. I'm not stitching Snowy himself on it yet. I'm stitching the background around the top of him first. Because once I start stitching him, I'm not going to want to stop to work on anything else. There will be no rotation after that. But there's a lot done. So, oops, sorry, Chrissy. Sorry, Shooky. This is page 1. And then we have page 2, 3, 4, and 5. It goes 6 pages across. And even that is quite a ways done, as you can see. And I hope to get back to that this week as well. But that is pretty much all of my stitching and our family news. And you're getting lots of close-ups of my Chrissy Chris. And of the beautiful fireplace behind me when my leg is not in the way. I know it's a quick video, folks, but there's been a lot of crazy stuff going along in our lives, and so not a lot of stitchies. I'm sorry. Oh, I did knit a pair of socks for my best friend, Rosie, which unless you're on the Friday Off the Grid group or my Instagram, I didn't get to show you because it was my only chance to see her before Christmas, and I gave them to her already. So yeah, that was pretty much it. A lot done considering a move and surgery and recovery and just life's craziness. Plus there was Thanksgiving in the middle, and whew, we had a lot going on. As a matter of fact, Chrissy's stitches were removed the day before Thanksgiving. Chrissy! And she was quite happy to get to eat her turkey. Very happy to get her turkey. She likes turkey. I took her. So from Chrissy, and I have Fluffers over here, who I think you saw at the beginning of the video, and myself, thank you so much for visiting with me. I will do my very, very best to get a video out in a few days that has more stitching and less scary stuff in my life that went down. But we are safe. We are okay. And I hope that all of you have a wonderful holiday, because I'm not sure if it will be before or after Christmas. Oh, there was one other thing. Oh my goodness. A package from Sussex, England, before I forget. My friend Carrie O'Keefe did a beautiful Minerva and Nora Corbett's Pixie Minerva, and decided that I needed to do it too. So she sent me all the thread and beads to do it with. So that will be my first of the year start. Will be Minerva. I wanted to do this piece very badly, but very expensive. I just have to get fabric dye and dye the fabric for it, because I already own a beautiful piece of linen that is just the right size. I just need to dye it. And I will be talking to Laura Reed at Slovak Farm about that, because I am not an experienced dyer and she is. By the way, shout out. Laura is awesome, and so is her husband Joe. You guys really need to go visit their channel. It's SLOVAK Farm. She is part of our Friday Off the Grid group, and she is just a wonderful stitcher. If you go back a couple of videos, I think 3, you'll see her finish on Cinderella, which was amazing. She and I chat frequently, and she's a lovely young lady, and she lives in Ohio, and she gets a lot more stitching and crafting done than I do. Please visit them. They're just wonderful and so funny. And her husband Joe also stitches. He's doing Dragons of Sumatra. Very slowly, because he's also a gamer, and you know how that works. Too many things to do. But they are just lovely, fun people. And she has an incredible fancy floss collection. So I hope that you will visit them. And to all of you, my thoughts and prayers are with you all. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas season and a happy New Year as well. God bless you. Bye-bye.